Welcome explorers, I am Astro Destroyer, and in today's video we're going to see what is a VPN and what are the advantages which we can get by using VPN. So let's start. So what is VPN? Actually VPN is nothing. It stands for Virtual Private Network. Basically, it is a personal network or local network which anyone can use to have access to any website or web page without having even to share his own personal info or IP address of the device through which he or she may be accessing any web page or website, and also it helps maintain the privacy of that user. So it is very useful when you want to access any website and you don't want the website server to have access to the IP address of your machine or have access to any personal credentials which you may have. So let us move on to see the definition of what is a VPN. VPN or Virtual Private Network, it's a type of private network which gives you access to all the websites without even having you to expose your identity to the network, and also it provides you with privacy. So let's move on to see the mechanism of how a VPN or virtual private network works. So suppose you have your system or machine, your computer, your laptop, your phone, your smartphone, whatever, and for every machine browsing a website or the internet, it will have a corresponding IP address. If you go to the settings, you can see that. And now suppose you want to access or have access to any particular web page on the internet. So what your machine will basically do, it will contact with the server. Suppose you had entered any website or HTTPS or hypertext transfer protocol, for example www.google.com or wikipedia.com, whatever. So after you had entered, then your machine will send it to the server, and the server will process the website or whatever you had sent the website into the domain. So basically it will translate it into the domain and it will search for the domain on the whole internet, and after it has found the actual domain, it will send you the output of what it has found. And in the meanwhile, it will also take your credentials or login credentials, for example your IP address, your other information, whatever you had sent through your system. So it will go to the server and then it will go to the web page, and similarly as an output process, the information or the output will be sent back to your system through the server. And now let us see how a VPN can interact or intercept the whole process. So suppose you have a VPN or a software installed in your system and you are using the VPN and you want to have access to that same web page. But by this time you want to access or you want to use your VPN service. And then your system will this time interact with VPN, and the information or the request will go to the VPN server, and now the VPN server will contact with the main server or the server of the local or the local server which we have or which you will be having in your locality. So after that, basically in this process, suppose you want to search for www.wikipedia.org, then in this case you will not have to send your personal IP address of the machine to the server of your locality. And so basically the server will have no input of your location or your personal credentials, your own address or whatever, which was being sent to the server when we were not using a VPN. So that is how a VPN works. And now let me come to the advantages of using a VPN. So VPN has many advantages. Let me discuss one by one. So first of all, it maintains privacy while browsing. While you are browsing, it maintains your privacy. As we are already discussed, you don't have to send your personal credentials and your login info. And also it helps access inaccessible websites in your geographic location. Suppose you want to have or watch your favorite movies or web shows on Netflix, and suppose any particular show or movie is not accessible in your geographic location or demography because of your demography, whereas it is available to any other location in the world. So for that you can use VPN. Basically VPN creates a false server which can communicate with the main server located in some other country. So if you set the VPN service or the VPN server to some other server in any region in which the Netflix show is available, then you can access that Netflix show and also you can enjoy your show. And the third important advantage of VPN is that it can save you money. Suppose you want to book a flight ticket or book a seat for your flight, and suppose you want to have flight tickets at cheap rates, and then you can use VPN, which will basically let you have the flight tickets at a cheaper rate by the virtue of your location. So in some places, due to many factors, the flight tickets will be less, and so by actually hoodwinking or actually falsifying or actually making the server full, you can access or you can have cheap rates for your flights by using VPN. And the next advantage of VPN is that it can reduce your chances of being hacked. So after you use a VPN, suppose you are accessing a Wi-Fi in a bar or in a cyber cafe, and you are accessing any web page. So if suppose a hacker is also sitting inside and he tries to intercept all your personal credentials or your network or signal through his system, and he can then access or hack your system. But suppose you are using a VPN, then he will not have any trace of your IP address because VPN uses its own server, and so it will not let him have access to your private address or any other valuable information which you possess. So now finally, let me tell you about the most popular VPN applications or softwares which you can use in 2020. So popular free VPNs. The first one which you can use is Hotspot Shield. The second one is Proton VPN. Also we have Speedify and Tunnel Bar, and finally we have Windscribe. So these are the popular VPNs which you can use in 2020 in your system to maintain your privacy and access any website without having any risk of your personal info being exposed to the entire internet. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was basically a short intro to VPN, and if you want, then I can also make other videos on VPN going into the detail and what type of software you can use and how all that happens. So you can tell me in the comments, and if you like this video, then you can subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends. And until then, keep exploring.